CreepyCorner stories.
Hey everyone, welcome back to CreepyCorner stories. You know, diving into the dark web is always risky, but sharing these stories with you makes it worth it. I'm curious, where are you watching this from right now? Let me know in the comments below. I noticed that these kind of stories hit differently depending on where you are. It might make the experience a little creepier. So tell me, are you watching from the safety of your home or somewhere less secure? My girlfriend vanished after joining a dark web therapy group that promises emotional deletion. They sent me a video of her smiling without pupils. What's up, Reddit? I've never posted here before, like ever, but I've read enough on r/nosleep to know this might be the only place I won't sound insane. If you're one of those people who enjoys binge watching horror YouTube channels like Here's My Story or storytelling YouTubers like Luna, sit down. This one's real and it's messed up. So here goes. This all started about 3 months ago. My girlfriend Rachel started talking about this new mental health group she found through a Reddit AMA thread. At first, it seemed kind of normal. She said it was some sort of exclusive therapy circle online, a support group for emotional detachment, like people who were completely numb, emotionally flatlining. Now, Rachel wasn't the type to get into weird stuff. She loved cheesy horror movies, yes, but she wasn't into creepy tech things or conspiracy theories. She worked part-time at a Starbucks near our apartment in Seattle, and we'd spend our weekends either at Gasworks Park or binging Netflix while eating ramen like broke millennials. But the past year, she hadn't been the same. Her dad died suddenly from a heart attack last Christmas. Her mom moved away to Arizona shortly after. Rachel kind of spiraled after that. Stopped painting. Barely ate. Couldn't sleep. She used to call herself emotionally mute. Said she just wanted to stop feeling everything. Like she wanted to delete the grief. So when she told me she found a therapeutic program that was experimental but effective, I didn't question it too hard at first. She called it EMOTIDEL, short for emotional deletion. I assumed it was just some edgy self-help group, probably a Discord server run by sad teens with usernames like Void Wanderer 98 or Empty Soul 44. But Rachel insisted it wasn't like that. She said it was invitation only, and that she had to take a personality diagnostic test through a private website link someone had DM'd her on Twitter. I should have seen the red flags. Hell, it practically screamed dark web light. But here's the thing, Rachel changed. Not in a scary way at first. More like, suddenly she was calm. She wasn't anxious all the time. No more panic attacks in the middle of Safeway. No more crying at 3 a.m. while staring at her dad's Facebook profile. It was like someone had hit mute on her trauma. I was happy for her, honestly. I thought maybe she found a therapist who knew their stuff. She even stopped taking her anti-anxiety medications. She said she didn't need them anymore. I asked her for more info, but every time I brought it up, she brushed it off with something like, "It's not for everyone. You have to be really ready to let go." The weird part? She started smiling more, but the smiles weren't right. Not fake, but almost too perfect. No sarcasm, no teeth gritting, just blank porcelain doll smiles. I used to joke that she looked like she was practicing for a Disney animatronic ride. Except one night, I woke up at 2:17 a.m. and found her standing by our bedroom window, just smiling at the glass, like she was looking at her reflection, but her eyes weren't moving, just the mouth. I called her name twice before she blinked and turned around like she had just come out of a trance. When I asked her what she was doing, she whispered, "Just letting go." That was the first time I really felt afraid. Fast forward 2 weeks. She stopped showing up to her Starbucks shifts. Her manager texted me, asking if she was okay. I said yeah, she was going through something, which, let's be honest, I still didn't fully understand. Then she started going offline. Her Instagram disappeared. Her Snapchat streaks vanished. Even her Spotify playlists were deleted. Everything that made her, her just got wiped. Then, on a Thursday night in late September, I came home from work and she was gone. Not like went to the store, gone. I mean, her closet was empty. The mattress was bare. Her phone was left face down on the kitchen counter with the screen shattered, like it had been slammed. No note, no call, no "we need to talk" text. She just vanished. The police didn't do much. She was 24. They said if she left on her own, she had every right to. There were no signs of forced entry. No missing persons report would stick unless I could prove she was in danger. But 3 days later, I got an email from a domain I didn't recognize. No subject line, no message body, just a single .mp4 file attachment. It was titled RachelPostDeliverance.mp4. I almost didn't open it. I scanned it 6 times with antivirus software, but curiosity and panic won. The video was 21 seconds long. It was Rachel, sitting in what looked like a dark room with concrete walls, like a basement or underground facility. The only light came from a fluorescent bulb flickering above her. She was wearing a gray hoodie, no makeup, hair pulled back into a messy bun. She smiled, but her eyes were gone. No, not gouged out or bloody, just smooth, black sockets, like 2 obsidian marbles where her pupils should have been. She smiled wider, way too wide. Her lips twitched, like she was struggling to make it bigger than humanly possible. And then, in a voice that didn't sound like her at all, flat, robotic, like AI text-to-speech, she said, "I've been successfully deleted. Do not attempt recovery." The screen went black. Then white text appeared. "The feeling is gone." That's when I realized this wasn't a mental health group. This was some kind of emotional harvesting cult, hiding behind the guise of online therapy. And whatever process they put her through, it changed her. Not just mentally, physically. I tried to reverse search the video's metadata, but the file was encrypted. Even my tech-savvy cousin couldn't make sense of it. I haven't heard from Rachel since, but last night, something new happened. I found a sticker on my front door. It was tiny, almost invisible, with a strange QR code and the word "Next." I don't know what this means yet, but I think I'm being watched. And if they think I'm going to just sit here and let them delete me too, they've got another thing coming. Would you open the video? Would you scan the QR code? Because I think someone already did, and they're not human anymore. The sticker was gone by morning. I swear I didn't hallucinate it. That QR code, those 4 blocky pixels staring up at me like a dead eye, it was stuck right in the center of my apartment door the night before. I even touched it. It felt warm, like it had just been printed and pressed there, seconds before I opened the door. But now, nothing. Not on the door, not on the security cam, not in my memory logs. Just gone, like Rachel, I called the building's front desk to ask if anyone had been by. The guy on the phone, Marcus, said no deliveries, no visitors, no footage of anyone entering my floor from midnight to 6 a.m. That's when I remembered my Nest Cam in the living room. I never really used it much. Just a leftover smart home gift from an old coworker, but I had it pointing toward the front door in case of package theft. When I checked the footage from 2:43 a.m., I expected to see nothing, but then, at 2:44:17, the hallway light flickered. A faint click came from the lock. The door didn't open, but a shadow passed through the frame, not across, through, like it phased through the wall. And then, for exactly one frame, there was a person in the room, dead still, back turned, wearing Rachel's old Starbucks apron. I paused it on the exact frame. The figure's posture was stiff. It stood in front of my couch, just slightly off-center, like an AI-rendered human model frozen in a glitch. Its hands were at its sides, fingers outstretched, just a little too long. Its head tilted, just slightly, as if listening to something the camera couldn't hear. I zoomed in. Where the head should have been, there was a flat, skin-colored surface. No eyes, no mouth, just an empty blank, as if its face had been manually erased. Photoshop in real life. Like someone had deleted the front of their head. And just before the figure vanished, again, one frame later, the TV in the background flickered on, all static, and I saw text flash across the screen in red. The deleted "Do not grieve." I wanted to throw my laptop out the window. I slammed it shut and ran out of the apartment without even grabbing a hoodie. I spent the night in a 24-hour McDonald's off Pike Street, paranoid out of my mind, jumping every time the motion sensor bathroom light clicked on. I know how this sounds, like I'm unraveling, but none of this is random. It's like whoever or whatever runs a motel knows I'm looking too closely, like I'm being given warnings. But here's where it gets worse, way worse. That same night, I logged into Rachel's old Reddit account. I still had the login saved on my phone from when I helped her set up two-factor authentication. Her account had been active just 5 hours earlier, which was impossible. She'd been missing for nearly 2 weeks. There was one post, just one. No title, just an image attachment. I tapped it. It was a screenshot of an old DM, not from Reddit, from a platform I'd never seen before. A dark gray interface, neon green font, no branding, and the user who messaged her was named @thecleaner. The message read, "We do not remove people, we remove pain. That is the contract. Grief is not an error, it is residue. Do you consent to permanent emotional deletion?" Rachel had responded, "Yes. Anything to feel nothing again." Underneath, a timestamp, Monday, 3:16 a.m. Location, off-grid node, number 3, Karakoram Null Exit Facility. That name sent a chill down my spine. I googled it, binged it, Reddit searched it. Nothing. But when I reverse, image, search the screenshot, I got a match from a Reddit post in 2015. Same interface, same username, @thecleaner. Except the user who posted that one wasn't Rachel. It was a 19-year-old girl from Ireland who had gone missing 6 days later. Her post was archived, all comments removed, her profile wiped. Only thing left behind, a YouTube link to an unlisted video called "We Let Her Go.mp4. It had 17 views. I clicked it. Worst mistake of my life. The video starts in what looks like a school gymnasium, but stripped bare. Fluorescent lights buzz above. The floor is covered in thin plastic tops, like a Dexter kill room. In the center, a folding chair. A girl sits in it. Mid-20s, pale, blonde hair shaved unevenly, like it was buzzed in a rush. She's swaying slightly, like she's trying to hum, but no sound comes out. Behind her, a mirror, but her reflection isn't in it. Instead, there's a blurry, crawling mass of static, as if her soul was replaced with a corrupted video file. The camera zooms in, and as it gets closer, her head tilts toward the lens. Her face twitches violently, like there's something inside her skin trying to burst out. Then, she smiles, and in a glitched, digitalized voice, not hers, but layered and deep and wrong, she says, "I don't remember who I was, but I feel perfect," cut to black. Then text, emoji del / on node number 3, complete. Unfeeling is freedom. Next candidate, Eric Barnes. Preparation in progress. That's my name. That's my name. I don't know how they got it. I've never signed up for anything, never clicked anything, except the video, except the folder, except the footage of Rachel. Was that it? Was that all they needed? I smashed my laptop that night. No regrets. But it's not enough. They're already in. The next morning, my phone alarm went off at 3:16 a.m., the same timestamp from Rachel's DM, even though I had no alarm set. And when I looked at the screen, it wasn't the usual clock. It was a countdown. 0, 0, 10, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 9:59, 0, 0, 0, 9:58. I couldn't shut it off, couldn't power down, couldn't factory reset. I had to shove it in the freezer to get the screen to black out. And when I took it out again an hour later, all my photos were gone, all contacts deleted, except one. Under favorites, emoji del, no number, just a green icon, like it was waiting for me to call back. They're not just erasing people anymore. They're erasing everything connected to them. The places they went, the thoughts they had, the faces they wore. They're making ghosts, but not the haunting kind, the unhaunting kind, the kind that leave no trace, no grief, no pain, no memory, just static. I'm typing this now from a public library terminal in downtown Seattle. Untraceable, unlinked, no login. They can't find me here. Not yet. But the librarian just turned the radio on, and there's a song playing that Rachel used to hum while she painted. Except it's not her voice. It's that voice. The layered, digitized one. And I swear I heard it whisper, "We are feeling you now." I slept in my car last night, not because I had to, but because it was the only place I could sit, with all the doors locked, the keys in my lap, and a full view of every single window without having to turn my back. It was a 2012 Honda Accord I inherited from my dad. Nothing fancy. The engine makes this weird clicking noise whenever I turn left too hard. But last night, that clicking was the only thing that kept me from losing my mind. Because when the silence hits too hard now, I hear them. And it's not in the way you're thinking. It's not whispers, not scratching. It's worse. It's notifications. Let me back up. After what happened at the library, the radio playing Rachel's voice, that sentence, "We are feeling you now." I left everything. No phone, no laptop. I took out $300 from my bank account, stuffed it into my sock, and shut off every card and app I had. I even cut the microchip out of my driver's license. Not because it helps, but because it makes me feel like I'm doing something. I had to get out of Seattle. Too many blinking signs, too many security cameras, too many Wi-Fi signals bleeding into my nerves. So I drove east. No map, no GPS. Just whatever exits looked empty and forgotten. I ended up in a nothing town off I-90 called Ten Fork. Population, I don't know, maybe 600. No Starbucks, no McDonald's, just a gas station, a diner, and a motel that looks like it's been dying since 1994. Perfect. The woman at the front desk of the Summit Rest Motel looked like she hadn't blinked in 2 years. Her name tag said Beth, but she didn't ask for my name. Just gave me a room key with a sticky tag on it that said 8 and handed me a receipt without looking up. The moment I stepped inside the room, I noticed 2 things. It smelled like dust and fake lemons. The TV was already on. No sound, just static. Classic analog horror intro. Except I didn't turn it off. I just stared at it. For over 30 minutes, something about it felt wrong. Like the static wasn't just random noise. It was hiding something. Like if I stared long enough, I'd start seeing shapes in it. And I did. At exactly 1:44 a.m., I saw a face. Just for a split second. In the corner of the screen, buried in the snowy flicker, there was a blur that looked like Rachel's jawline. Only her mouth was hanging open way too wide, and her teeth were perfectly clean. Not human clean. Uncanny clean. And then, her voice, the real one, not the digitized whisper, broke through the static. She said my name. Just once. Eric. I leapt back so hard I knocked over the lamp. The static cut off. The screen went black. Then a line of white text appeared. They know what you miss. The next morning, I went to the diner down the street. Needed coffee. Needed noise. And I swear to God, every single person in that place turned to look at me when I walked in. Not in a friendly way. Not even in a suspicious way. They looked at me like they already knew what I'd done. Like I'd walked in with blood all over my shirt, and they were just being polite about it. I sat down at the counter. A man, mid-50s, sun-wrinkled skin, trucker hat, was sitting next to me. After a few minutes, he leaned over and said, "You're looking for someone, aren't you?" I didn't respond. He tapped his finger on the counter, rhythmically, like he was tapping a code. Then he said, "People come through here sometimes. Don't remember who they were, but you can always tell." "Tell what?" I asked. He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. That they got too close to forgetting something important. And now, something's trying to help. Then he slid something toward me. A USB stick, wrapped in duct tape. Label on the back. Node//4. I shouldn't have used it. I knew better. But I drove back to the motel, plugged it into the old TV's USB port, because of course it had one, and waited. The screen flickered. Static again. Then a video started. It was a home video. Old, grainy, VHS style. Rachel's 8th birthday. I recognized her instantly. Red hair and pigtails, crooked teeth, birthday hat, with a paper flower taped to it. The camera shakes slightly as someone sings "Happy Birthday" off-screen. Her mom, probably. Then the footage glitches, just once. And when it clears, everyone is gone. Same kitchen, same cake. But now Rachel is sitting alone, staring into the camera with tears running down her cheeks. Then she speaks, but not like a child, like a woman, like Rachel. I didn't want to forget them. I just wanted the pain to stop. She leans closer to the camera. Her eyes are black voids now, not just empty, like they're recording me. "You should have let me go, Eric. Now they'll take something from you, too." Then the screen cuts to black. A final message appears. "You remember too loudly." I yanked the USB out, threw it in the sink, and ran the water. It stank like burnt plastic. and vinegar. I haven't slept since, because now the static follows me. It's in the motel bathroom mirror. The reflection lags behind when I move. It's in the noise of the AC unit, hidden under the hum, like whispering voices, learning how to pronounce my name. And just this morning, I found a slip of paper shoved under my windshield wiper. No writing on the front. On the back, scribbled in red marker, Node/5 coming for you. I tried leaving Ten Fork. I drove for 6 straight hours, but my GPS, the one I hadn't touched in days, turned itself on at 4:17 p.m. and the screen said, arriving at Summit Rest Motel. Estimated time, 1 minute. I looked up, and the motel was right in front of me. Same street, same front desk, same woman. Still hadn't blinked. I don't know where Rachel is anymore. I don't even know where I am anymore. Because if I'm being honest, I'm starting to forget things. Small stuff. My mom's voice. The color of my dog's fur when I was a kid. The name of my first grade teacher. Every time I wake up, something else is gone. I'm not depressed. I'm not sick. I'm being erased. They don't kill you. They clean you. They sanitize your memories. Wipe out the people who hurt you. The places that scarred you. The moments that broke your heart. And then they take the good ones too. Until you're just a blank face. Smiling. Unblinking. Like Rachel in the video. Like the people in Ten Fork. Like me if I don't get out. I'm leaving this story here on an abandoned Reddit account. No real name. No metadata. Just one message for whoever finds this. If someone offers to take away your pain, ask what they'll take with it. Because forgetting feels like freedom until you realize you've forgotten why you ever wanted to feel anything at all. Last night, I saw myself, not in the mirror, not in a dream. I saw myself walking across the parking lot of the Summit Rest Motel at exactly 3:03 a.m. I was looking out the window, wide awake, back pressed against the wall, watching the fog roll in across the empty road like a slow wave, when I saw movement. A figure, hoodie up, same walk, same slight limp in the left foot from when I dropped a plate on it in college. Same face, same me. I stood completely still, afraid to blink, afraid that if I lost sight of it, of me, I'd be pulled into some silent, invisible loop and never come back. But the copy didn't look up at the window, didn't try to get inside. It just walked across the lot, into the dark between the trees, and right before it vanished into the black, it smiled, not at me, not in recognition. It smiled like it had already replaced me. I didn't sleep. I haven't slept in 4 days. When I close my eyes now, I don't see blackness. I see a glowing white room, clinically lit, filled with dozens of people sitting in perfect stillness, all of them wearing headphones, all of them watching TVs that aren't plugged in, all of them smiling, and in every dream, one of them slowly turns their head toward me. And it's Rachel, except it's not. She's paler, her mouth is wider, her eyes are gone, and she mouths the same phrase over and over again. You're almost ready. I needed answers, real ones, not symbolism, not dreams, not cryptic digital trash. I needed to know, what is EMOTIDEL? So I took the only risk left to take. I went to the dark web. Before you roll your eyes. Yeah, I know. That phrase gets tossed around by 15-year-olds on Discord, trying to scare each other with stories about red rooms and hitmen for hire. But the truth is, the real dark web isn't flashy. It's boring. Forums, hidden wikis, broken pages, broken people. But I found something. Or maybe it found me. a forum called Null Therapy, hosted on a .onion link that disappeared an hour after I clicked it. It was full of posts, real ones, dated, archived, encrypted, but still readable. People begging for deletion, like it was a religion. Username, deadmeat4, posted 2017. I went through Node 2 in the Munich satellite. I thought it would be cold, surgical, but they were warm. They touched my forehead. They showed me my pain on a screen, like a memory VHS. Then they asked me, gently, if I wanted to let it go. When I said yes, they thanked me. Then the screen burned out. I haven't cried since 2017. I haven't wanted to. Username, Korokama, posted 2019. My brother did it. We thought it was a cult at first, but after he came back, he was still him, just smoother, like someone had taken a cheese grater to his personality. He still made jokes, but didn't laugh at them, still kissed his girlfriend, but didn't close his eyes. One day, he told me I was next. I moved cities, haven't seen him since, but I get letters with no return address, just one sentence. Emotions make meat messy. There were 7 known nodes listed. Node 1, unknown origin. Node 2, Munich satellite, offline. Node 3, Karakoram null exit facility, Rachel. Node 4, US Midwest, unlisted coordinates. Node 5, designated for me. Node 6, child garden, no details. Node 7, redacted. Each node was marked with a different purpose. Mine, Node 5, had a label. Memory compression / identity rewrite candidate. Unresponsive to grief-based rejection. Shows retention instability. There was a link at the bottom. Not a normal URL. A string of numbers. A .onion livestream link. Only viewable at exactly 3:03 a.m. So I waited. 3:02 a.m. I sat in my car. Windows rolled up. Phone hot in my hands. Browser open. Heart racing. 3:03. The screen went white. Then black. Then video. The feed was grainy. Colorless. Like an old security camera. It showed a white hallway with 7 doors. Each one marked with a blinking red dot, like a record light on a camcorder. One by one, the doors opened. Figures stepped out. None of them had faces, just skin where their eyes should be, holes where their mouths should be, and white surgical gowns that didn't hang right, like there was too much bone underneath. And behind them, a mirror. And in the mirror, behind them, was me. But I wasn't watching. I was smiling, standing motionless, head tilted, exactly like the copy I saw outside the motel. The feed glitched. Text flashed on screen. Node 5 complete. Delivery initiated. Then my phone died. And when I turned the car on to leave, the radio came alive. No sound, just static. And then a voice. Familiar, but not Rachel's. Mine. If you can't feel, you can't scream. I'm not sure how much time I have left. They're not just erasing memories. They're overwriting identities. I think that copy of me I saw outside, that was the new version, the cleaned version, the perfect one. And I think it's waiting for me to break, to finally give in, to stop fighting, to let them delete me for good. Because once I do, they'll let that version out, and no one will know the difference. I've locked myself in room 8 of the motel. The light bulbs are all unscrewed. The mirrors are all smashed. The carpet is soaked because I tried to pour bleach into the TV, which refused to break, even after 3 swings with the chair. But every time I blink, I feel like I'm losing something small. A face, a scent, a date. Like pieces of me are being carved away silently, bit by bit, until I'm just a shape wearing a name. If you're reading this, please understand one thing. They're not just after people in pain. They're after anyone who misses something enough to want it gone. A breakup, a death, a mistake, a regret. That's the price of entry. They show up not when you're broken, but when you're vulnerable enough to want to erase what broke you. And when you do, they'll be there, smiling, waiting to help. But before I forget, if someone knocks at your door tonight, don't open it, even if they say they're you, especially if they say they're you. I woke up on the floor, no memory of falling asleep, no memory of dreaming, just static behind my eyelids, like when an old TV loses signal. The motel room was colder than it should have been. I checked the thermostat, still set to 70, but my breath came out in white wisps, hanging in the air like cigarette smoke. The walls felt damp, like they were breathing with me. I stood up slowly. My knees cracked. My back popped. Everything felt off, like the gravity in the room had shifted just slightly to the left. And then I saw it, scratched into the wood of the door. Deep gouges like fingernails dragged through a desk. One word. Soon. Underneath it, etched lighter, smaller. My name. I don't remember carving that, but it's my handwriting. Same slanted E, same crooked R. Exactly how I wrote my name on notebooks in middle school. And right then, as I stood in that room, something terrible hit me. I couldn't remember my mother's face. Not like, oh, I'm tired, it'll come back. I couldn't even remember if she had freckles, or brown eyes, or green. It was like someone had archived her into a ZIP file I no longer had access to. And that's when I knew. The deletion process doesn't stop when they take you. It starts long before. I ran, didn't check out, didn't pack, just grabbed my hoodie and sprinted to the car. But when I got in and slammed the door shut, someone was already in the passenger seat. It was me. Again, same hoodie, same hands, same scar on my chin from when I slipped on ice in college. But this time, he turned his head, and he had eyes, but they were hollow, empty, like a screensaver of pupils, like someone had drawn them on in Sharpie, but forgot to add the life. He looked at me and smiled, the exact Rachel smile from the video. Too perfect, no soul. It's time, he said, not loud, not threatening, just matter of fact. I reached for the door handle, but he touched my arm, and in his voice, my voice, he whispered, "We don't delete pain. We just put it where you can't feel it anymore. Let me in." I don't know what happened next. I woke up 4 hours later in the driver's seat, parked on a completely different road, my car spotless, the tank full. No bruises, no scratches, no memory. Just one sticky note on the dashboard. Welcome to Node 5. And a second note taped to the rearview mirror. You're clean now. Here's where it gets worse. I made it back to Seattle. Somehow. I remember the highway, the signs, the city skyline rising like jagged teeth. But when I got to my old apartment building, the front desk guy, Marcus, didn't recognize me at all. Not even "you look familiar." He checked the tenant list. My name wasn't there. Said no one named Eric Bonds had ever lived in Unit 504. Even my own bank card was declined. When I checked the balance, account not found, and the address on my ID, it was just blank. No state, no zip, just an empty white space where my life used to be. I walked 5 blocks to a Starbucks, sat down, and opened my laptop. Google. Eric Bonds, Seattle. Nothing. Not a LinkedIn. Not an old tweet. Not even an obituary. It was like I'd never been born. But that wasn't the part that broke me. This was. I checked the local news site. Front page. Starbucks barista. Missing since September found safe. It was a picture of Rachel, except not quite. Her hair was a little too straight, her face just slightly off, like a 3D rendering of her from memory, and the caption said, Rachel Barnes, 24, found uninjured in Idaho. She claims she never left. She has no memory of any therapy program and denies knowledge of EMOTIDEL. Officials believe she may have suffered a prolonged dissociative fugue. Rachel Barnes, not Rachel Thompson, her real last name, my last name. I clicked the video interview. She smiled into the camera, the same smile, the one that started all of this, and then she looked straight at me through the screen and said, I'm home now. Everything's okay. We don't feel pain anymore. And behind her, just for a split second, a mirror, and in the reflection, me, standing behind her, smiling, unblinking. I don't know how long I have left. I'm still here, but I don't think I'm me anymore. I forget my name sometimes. I forget sounds, colors, feelings. I stubbed my toe this morning and didn't even flinch. I found a photo of me and Rachel from 2022, but I couldn't remember where it was taken. I just stood there, holding the photo, trying to feel something, and all I felt was clean, like my soul had been wiped down with bleach and ice water, like I was hollowed out and filled with nothing. If you're reading this, I'm probably already gone, not dead, just overwritten. So this is my final message to anyone still capable of feeling. Do not seek them out. Do not accept their help. Do not try to find someone you lost. They'll offer peace. They'll offer silence. They'll offer freedom. But what they give you isn't a life. It's a mask. It's a smile with no person behind it. They gave me what I asked for. They deleted my grief. And now I don't remember what it was like to be human. I found a hidden government folder on the dark web named Tartarus Gate. It opens every 9 years. It all started last summer. I was 19, bored out of my mind during the second summer of my gap year. I had one of those dead-end but chill jobs at a late-night diner in the middle of nowhere, small town outside of Albany, New York. I'd get off at like 2 a.m., drive home with a Monster Energy in one hand and a hot and spicy McChicken in the other, scrolling through TikTok in bed till the sun came up. I was in this weird phase where I was obsessed with conspiracy videos. You know, the ones that are all like top 10 government secrets you're not supposed to know. The CIA's creepiest projects revealed. Did you know the US tried to open a portal in the Arctic? That kind of stuff. Anyway, one night I found this TikTok account that was way more intense than anything I'd seen. The guy had like a robotic voice filter over his videos, and he always wore this creepy mask with no mouth hole, just 2 eyes and a stitched up smile painted across it. The kind of stuff you scroll past, but then you scroll back because you're like, wait, what the hell did I just see? One of his videos popped up at 3 a.m. and I remember the caption like it was burned into my brain. It opens every 9 years. Do not access it after midnight. Hashtag Tartarus Gate. Hashtag Dark Web Files. Hashtag Forbidden Folder. The video was basically a slideshow of corrupted screenshots, lines of glitched text, a weird map with a flashing red dot over Antarctica, and what looked like a terminal window with the words accessing Tartarus_gate / lockdown - priority - level - omega. It ended with a warning. If you find the folder, do not open it, especially if it's a 9th year. So of course, being the sleep-deprived idiot I am, I went digging. I didn't mean to go that deep. I'd used the deep web before, mostly to look at creepy forums, old ARGS, or weird urban legends that never made it to mainstream Reddit. I wasn't a hacker or anything, just a curious dude with too much time and a VPN. That night, I found a discussion thread on a hidden forum called Velvet Veil. It looked ancient, like straight out of 2006, but it was still active. The thread was titled Tartarus Gate. Open again. Confirmed. October 2024. People in the thread were saying stuff like, access only if your terminal is isolated. You've been warned. My brother disappeared after opening it in 2015. No body was ever found. It's not a file. It's a doorway. The folder will find you if you look for it long enough. Now I know how dumb this sounds, but you gotta understand, my sleep schedule was trashed. I was running off caffeine and Reddit paranoia, and something about that name, Tartarus Gate. It just felt wrong. Not scary, exactly. Just ancient. Like I shouldn't even be thinking about it, let alone typing it into my laptop. But I did. I copied a string of code from the forum. Someone had uploaded it under a thread that said, only opens once every 9 years. You missed 2015. Don't screw this up. I pasted it into a Tor-based file locator, hit enter, and there it was. A folder, plain as day. Just sitting there. No encryption, no file protection, nothing. It was titled Tartarus Gate 2024. Size 666 megabytes. No joke. Yeah, real subtle. What was inside? Inside the folder were 4 things. A .txt file named welcomeback.txt. A low-res image of what looked like an underground tunnel made of stone, labeled Kandahar Entrance 3.jpg. An audio file labeled Zetadown broadcast.wav. A password-protected video titled Omega 2024 full access.move. The .txt file was short. It said, the gate opens every 9 years. You are being watched. Last activation, October 2015. Do not attempt to view the video without isolation protocols. Watching the footage outside of approved containment environments is a federal offense, punishable by erasure. Yeah, erasure. Not arrest, not prison. Erasure. Like I'm some file on a drive that can be deleted. Now at this point, I was freaking out, but also kind of hyped. Like, this was the kind of stuff I lived for. I wasn't even thinking this could be real. I figured it was some crazy ARG with killer production value. I tried opening the video, but of course, it asked for a password. I couldn't crack it. I even tried using a few tools to brute force the lock, but nothing worked. So I went back to the audio file. And this is where it started getting bad. The sound that wasn't a sound. The audio file was only 13 seconds long. I put on my headphones, hit play, and immediately regretted everything. It didn't sound like music or words. It was like a hum, but it was wrong. I felt it behind my eyes, like it was crawling around inside my brain. There was a part, around 7 seconds in, where I swear I heard a voice whispering numbers backwards. I reversed it, and what I got chilled me to the core. 0, 4, 1, 9. Enter the gate. I didn't even realize I'd been bleeding from my nose until I took off my headphones. Just a tiny drip, but it was there. I wiped it with my sleeve and stared at my screen. That had to be the password. I typed it into the video file, and the screen just blinked black. Final moments of part 1. I swear on everything, my laptop shut off by itself. Not a crash, not a freeze. It turned off perfectly, like someone hit the power button. Then my phone vibrated. I picked it up. One new message from a contact that didn't exist. No caller ID, 4:19 a.m. The message said only one word, watched, and then my phone shut off too. The power in my whole room flickered. Not out, but like someone cut the current for half a second. You know how in horror movies, when the lights blink right before something shows up? That exact flicker. I ran to my window. Outside, there was a white van parked across the street. Completely blacked out windows. Engine running. It was there for 9 minutes. I counted. Then it drove off. I haven't touched the folder since. But things haven't stopped happening. And if I told you what came next, you wouldn't believe me. But I'm gonna tell you anyway. Because Tartarus Gate opened again. And I think something came through. I didn't go back to sleep that night. After my phone and laptop shut off, I just sat in my bed in complete silence, staring at my dark screen, waiting for something else to happen. I couldn't even convince myself it was a dream, because I could still smell the metallic scent of my own blood from the nosebleed. I could still feel the sound from that audio file ringing deep inside my skull. The next morning, I tried acting like nothing happened. I opened the windows, played music from my Bluetooth speaker, drank like 3 Red Bulls back to back, just trying to drown the sense that something had woken up the second I typed in that password. The folder was gone, by the way, just vanished off my laptop. I didn't delete it. It wasn't in the recycle bin. I ran recovery software. Nothing. It was like my computer never had it in the first place. I didn't tell anyone. What the hell would I even say? Hey, I accessed a hidden government file called Tartarus Gate, and now my electronics are haunted, my nose is bleeding, and vans are stalking my house. No one would believe me. But that night, things escalated in a way that made it impossible to ignore. You ever see people that just don't belong? That night I was working a graveyard shift at the diner. Just me, greasy countertops, a flickering open sign, and a playlist of old Nirvana songs echoing from the jukebox in the corner. The place was dead quiet, like usual. We're the only 24/7 joint in the whole area, so every now and then you'll get a few stragglers, truckers, drunk college kids, people fresh off a bad Tinder date. But around 3:17 a.m., the door chimed. 3 people walked in, except they weren't people. Not really. At least not in the way we understand it. They were wearing matching black coats, like military style, long and stiff like trench coats. All 3 of them were wearing the exact same shade of pale gray. Their hair was too short to look natural, almost like it was painted onto their scalps. And their faces, I swear to God, they looked like they'd been 3D printed, like mannequins with skin, smooth, cold, symmetrical to the point it was uncomfortable. Their eyes were the worst part. They didn't blink, not once. And they didn't move like people either. Every motion was slightly delayed, like a video buffering in real time. I forced myself to smile as they took a booth near the back. "Welcome in. What can I get you?" I asked, trying not to look directly into their eyes. The one closest to the aisle spoke. Voice low, deep. Not threatening, just wrong. like he was struggling to form words he'd never used before. Do you serve meat here? I gave a half nod. Yeah. Burgers, bacon, sausage, steak, and eggs. We require the most recent kill, he said. I laughed awkwardly, thinking he was joking. Yeah, all our meat is freshly delivered every week. You guys want menus, or... The second one turned their head to me, not rotated like normal, like they slid their necks sideways in one fluid snake-like motion. There has already been a signal, they said. You released it. We are just tracking the scent. Now, I just froze. I hadn't told anyone what I did the night before. How the hell would they know? I backed away slowly, trying not to show how hard my hands were shaking. I'll grab some menus for you. I ducked behind the counter and grabbed my phone under the register. It was still off. I tried turning it on. Dead screen. My breathing got shallow. Panic was building. This wasn't a prank. These weren't normal customers. I didn't know what they were, but they weren't from around here. And they definitely weren't here for waffles and coffee. I reached for the landline and dialed 911. As soon as I pressed the first number, a sound came from their table. It wasn't a word. It was a tone, a frequency. It felt like the exact same note from that .wav file I played the night before. High-pitched, vibrating my teeth. The air felt heavier. My ears popped, like I'd been yanked underwater. The lights overhead dimmed and flickered. Then every bulb in the diner burst at once. Pop, 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 pop. Glass rained down everywhere. I ducked behind the counter, heart hammering in my chest. When I peeked up again, they were gone. Not walked out, not ran, just gone. Their table was empty, completely undisturbed, not even a footprint. But they left something behind, the screaming tape. There was a cassette tape sitting in the booth where the first one had been sitting. Just a plain black Maxell tape with a yellowing label that read, Property of Yellow Root, Project, Tartarus Node 3. I didn't touch it. I should have just burned it. But my dumbass took it home, plugged an old tape player into my laptop, and hit record while it played. I figured I'd listen once and delete it. Whatever was going on, I needed evidence. The tape started with a woman's voice. She was whispering numbers, not randomly, like coordinates. She said, 45.7139 north, 63.9987 west. The tunnel is under the Starbucks. Halifax. Do not enter past the red door. Do not respond to the children. They wear their faces backwards now. We can't stop them anymore. Then static. And then the screams. I've never heard anything like it. They weren't just painful. They were hungry. Like something screaming out of starvation. I paused it halfway through. Couldn't finish it. Because in the background, I heard a sound. My own voice. Screaming with them. Begging for someone to turn it off. The incident in the kitchen. I tried calling the cops after that. I really did. But the moment I picked up the phone, my kitchen TV turned on by itself. It was an old flat screen. Didn't even have smart features. It blinked to a blue screen with white text. DOS style font. The kind you see in system reboots. You were warned. Do not view the video. The gate remains open. I tried to unplug the TV. I yanked the cord out. The screen stayed on. Then a second message appeared. You invited them. My doorbell rang. Once, twice, 3 times. I crept to the front window and peeked through the blinds. No one was there. I stepped outside and found hundreds of footprints leading from my yard to the woods behind the house. bare feet, deep indentations in the soil, each one facing backward, and just at the edge of the tree line, under the pale light of the moon, something was standing there, too tall, neck too long. Its skin looked like wet paper, stretched tight around bones that didn't match human anatomy. Its jaw unhinged when it saw me, and in my voice it said, "We remember you now." Then it walked backward into the woods. I think they're replacing people. Over the next few days, people in town started changing. The old man who ran the gas station stopped blinking. My co-worker Donna, she quit the diner after claiming she saw her own face staring back at her through the bathroom mirror. She won't come outside anymore. And the worst part, the TikTok account that started it all, gone, wiped clean. In its place is a new one. Same name, same masked figure, but now it only posts one video every hour. Same caption, 9 years, 9 subjects, 9 replacements, Tartarus node, open, and the comments, all identical. Watched, watched, watched. Even mine. I never left a comment, but my profile's there, and it says, subject 4 of 9. The tape said, do not enter past the red door. Do not respond to the children. I didn't even hesitate. That's the part that keeps me up at night. Not the faces, not the screaming, not the thing I saw crawling on the ceiling when I finally made it inside the chamber. Number. The thing that won't let me sleep is that I wasn't scared. I wanted to know. I wanted to see what they were hiding. Halifax, Starbucks, 3:52 a.m. The place looked like any other Starbucks. Warm lights inside, an empty drive-through looping around the back, a janitor sweeping up trash outside, completely unaware of the hole in reality beneath his feet. I parked across the street and waited. No customers, no employees, no one, just me, and a set of cracked concrete stairs hidden behind a dumpster, half covered in wet leaves and old coffee sleeves. The kind of stairwell you'd walk past 100 times and never look twice at. But I knew what I was looking for. At the bottom of the stairwell was a gray steel door, no handle, just a faded sign that had been scratched off. But under the layers of grime, I could still read it if I tilted my flashlight just right. Tartarus Node 3, access locked between cycles, and beneath that, scratched in by hand, opens every 9 years. You missed your chance. Except, I didn't. I knocked once. Silence. Then I heard a click. The door opened by itself. The tunnel. The air changed the second I stepped inside. Have you ever walked into a place so old and forgotten that even the dust feels sacred? That's what it felt like. The air was thick, wet, and humming, like the entire tunnel was vibrating under my skin at a frequency I couldn't hear, but could feel. I walked for what felt like 10 minutes, maybe more. The tunnel was lined with old brick, blackened from time. And then, the smell hit me. Not rot, not sewage, something way worse. It smelled like teeth. That's the only way I can describe it. Like a dentist's office after a fire. Sweet and burnt and alive. At the end of the tunnel was a door. Blood red. Fresh paint. It looked like it had been sealed shut hundreds of times and ripped back open every 9 years like clockwork. A keypad blinked on the wall beside it. 4 digits. I didn't even have to think. 0419. I typed it in. The door unlatched, and I stepped into hell. Inside, Node 3. It wasn't a room. It was a facility. At least, it used to be. Half the lights were dead. Wires spilled from the ceiling. The walls were rusted metal, covered in clipboards, diagrams, and Polaroids of people who looked almost normal, but weren't. eyes too far apart, mouths stitched closed, skin slightly wrong, too smooth, like wax figures left too close to heat. There were 4 main chambers: acquisition, separation, facework, placement, each one worse than the last. 1. Acquisition. The walls were covered in case files, printed photos of regular people, girls from Instagram, cashiers, bus drivers, college kids, TikTokers with a few thousand followers, people no one would miss immediately. Beside each profile was a note: subject viable, public familiarity less than 3%, and under that, replacement prepared. They weren't just watching people, they were choosing them. I flipped through a few folders, then I found mine, my name, my face, a full report, even photos from my childhood, my school ID from middle school, photos I never posted. The note at the bottom read, subject 4 of 9, progression 33%, unstable. Watch the footage before isolation. Subject may require reprocessing. 2. Separation. This room was cold, freezing. Along one side was a long metal operating table, stained deep brown in the center, leather restraints, dull surgical tools, a sink overflowing with what looked like wigs, but they weren't synthetic. They were scalps. I backed away, then noticed the wall behind me. It had a giant touchscreen monitor embedded in it, flickering, still functioning. A single message was looping on the screen. Reminder: during separation, maintain consciousness for 19 minutes minimum. The subject must remain aware of detachment to ensure imprint stability. That's when I saw the next door open, on its own, like it was waiting for me. 3. Facework. I shouldn't have gone in here. God help me, I shouldn't have. The room was filled with rows of frames, like giant shadow boxes. Inside each one was a human face, not photos. Real, preserved, peeled faces, flattened, stretched, pressed like leaves in a scrapbook. There were hundreds of them, some with eyes, some without, all labeled with barcodes and names. I saw my old friend Jay's face. He went missing 3 years ago. Everyone said he ran away. He didn't. He's in this room. I pulled out my phone to take a picture, and then I heard it. Laughter, children's laughter, light and echoey, coming from inside the walls. That's when I remembered the tape's warning: do not respond to the children. I froze. Then, a voice, soft, broken, behind me. Do you want your face back? I spun around. No one was there, just a mirror on the wall. And in the mirror, I had no face. 4. Placement. I ran. I don't even remember opening the last door, but I ended up inside a room full of metal pods, cryopod style, all wired up. Each one had a person inside, except they weren't moving, and their faces were missing. Each pod was labeled like a package. Node 3, export, destination. Node 5, status, ready. I opened one. Inside was a man. His chest was rising and falling, still breathing. His face was gone, but not bloody, just smooth, wiped clean, like someone had erased his identity. And there, in the corner, stacked like Amazon deliveries, were dozens of black duffel bags. I opened one. It was full of faces, still wet, still warm. The scream that wasn't human. Suddenly, all the lights in the chamber turned red. A low alarm started pulsing through the walls. Not a siren, but a heartbeat. Something woke up. I heard it crawl across the ceiling above me. Heavy limbs, flesh dragging across metal. I didn't look back. I ran through the tunnels, nearly blinded, gagging on the air. It had changed. It smelled like hot iron now, like a furnace full of skin. Right before I reached the exit tunnel, my phone buzzed. Even with 2% battery left, The screen lit up. One new video posted by the masked TikTok account. It was security footage of me inside Node 3 just seconds ago. Someone was watching me live. The caption said, "Subject 4, 66% progression, face work incomplete." The ending, "I'm living in. I made it out, but something's changed. My reflection doesn't match my movements. I blink and my reflection doesn't. I smile and it frowns. People on the street glance at me, then look again like I'm almost someone they know. And sometimes when I pass mirrors too fast, I swear I see them, the children, watching, smiling, upside down. They're not wearing masks. They're not pretending to be me. They are me. Or at least, they're what I look like when I'm not paying attention. Day 1, I saw myself at the grocery store. It started simple. I was at the local grocery store, middle of the day, packed with normal people. No red lights, no voices in the walls. I was in the snack aisle. I looked up, and there I was. Or someone who looked exactly like me. He had my face, my same jacket. Even the tear in the back of the hoodie I only just noticed yesterday. He didn't look at me, just stood there, staring at a shelf of Pringles like he'd never seen chips before in his life. I circled the aisle, pretended to tie my shoe, watched him. No reaction, no blinking. He finally picked up a single can, slowly, sour cream and onion, and placed it into a cart that I swear was completely empty otherwise. He pushed it forward like he was just learning how wheels worked. I followed him for 6 aisles. Then I blinked, and he was gone. Day 2, people start recognizing him instead of me. My phone's facial recognition stopped working. Face ID just failed. No matter what angle I tried, no lighting fix, no new scan. At Starbucks, the barista looked me dead in the eye and said, "Oh, hey, back again? Didn't you just come through like 10 minutes ago?" I hadn't. I hadn't even left my car until that moment. At first, I thought I was being paranoid. Trauma, hallucination, PTSD from the basement, from the faces, from the pods. Then I saw the security footage. Day 3, the footage. A guy I know, Drew, works security at a retail store downtown, texted me, "Dude, you good? Why were you just standing outside the emergency exit for 45 minutes?" I said I had no idea what he meant. He sent me the CCTV clip. It showed me, standing perfectly still, in the alley behind the store, not moving, not blinking, wearing the same hoodie I had on right then. Timestamp, 4:19 a.m. I asked him what happened next. He said, "Nothing. You were just gone. Like the footage skipped. One frame you were there, next one you weren't." Day 4, I caught it, watching me sleep. This part is hard to explain. I was up late, 3 a.m., watching YouTube, trying not to lose my mind. Then my TV turned on by itself, static screen, and I swear to God, behind the white noise, I saw me, standing in my own bedroom doorway, frozen, just staring at me, except I was in bed, phone in hand. I turned to look at the door in real time. No one there. I looked back at the TV, still me, still watching. Then the screen went black and displayed one sentence. Progression 77%. Mirror lock acquired. What is a mirror lock? What happens at 100%? Day 5. The others are showing up. Now, I'm not the only one seeing them. A friend texted me, panicking. "Bro, WTF. You just passed me at the train station and didn't say anything. You looked messed up. Like, off." I wasn't even in town that day. I've started getting tagged in photos on social media. Different cities, different timestamps, different outfits I don't own. Always the same blank expression. always at exactly 4:19 a.m. Today, my reflection spoke. First, this morning, I looked in the mirror. I didn't look tired. I looked empty, hollow. My eyes didn't reflect the light like they used to. I leaned in close, and my reflection leaned in faster. Before I could react, it mouthed something. I couldn't hear it, but I know what it said. "You're almost done." Then it blinked, but I didn't. One final thing. I got a call from an unknown number, just breathing on the other end. Slow, mechanical, copied breathing. Then a voice. Subject 4 has reached 84%. Synchronization successful. Preparing for deployment. I said nothing. I couldn't. My mouth wasn't moving, but I still heard my voice respond. Ready. I know what happens at 100%, and it's already too late. It happened at 4:19 a.m., just like everything else. That number isn't random. It's not a timestamp. It's a command. It started in the walls. The night before it happened, I noticed my apartment walls were thinner than usual. I could hear voices in the pipes, like children whispering into plastic cups. But there were no kids in the building. I live on the top floor, corner unit. No one above, no one beside. And yet, I heard something crawling through the walls. Something small, fast, like fingers. Sometimes I swear it was humming. That same tone from the audio file I played weeks ago. The one that bled through my ears and made my nose drip. Except this time, the sound had a pattern, a rhythm. It was tapping in 4, 1, 9. Then my body started changing. At first, it was small. My handwriting didn't look like mine. I'd write something down and have to double check it wasn't someone else's. My voice started to sound wrong in voice memos. Too flat, too distant, like I was underwater. Then came the real signs. I woke up with cuts on my face. Precise. Surgical. My left canine tooth was missing, but there was no blood. I looked at old photos from a month ago, and my eyes were different, slightly further apart. Less color in the iris. More glass. I looked like someone trying to look like me. I watched myself sleep. I set up a camera in my bedroom, just to prove I wasn't going insane. I left it rolling overnight. External mic. Night vision. Clean angle facing my bed. At 4:19 a.m., something stepped into frame. It was me, standing over my own body. But this me wasn't fully finished. The face was too tight on the skull, like the skin had just been applied, not grown. There were black gaps where fingernails should be. The eyes were open too wide. It was smiling, but the smile didn't move when it blinked. It stood there for 19 minutes, watching me breathe. Then it leaned close and whispered something. The audio was broken, full of static, but I isolated it, cleaned the sound, and what it said was this: "You'll wake up when I fall asleep." The final video. The masked TikTok account posted again. Only this time, it wasn't one of the usual cryptic, glitched out videos. It was live footage of me, walking through an alley in Prague, wearing clothes I didn't own, waving at someone I didn't recognize. The caption said, Subject 4, active deployment complete. Mirror lock, permanent. System, uptime, 100%. I watched myself wave at the camera, then looked directly into the lens, like it knew I was watching, and then it smiled. My exact smile, but dead behind the eyes. The stream ended abruptly, and my phone crashed. When I rebooted, all my photos were gone, replaced with 9 black squares, each labeled Subject Complete. Then they took my voice. That morning, I tried calling my mom, just to hear her voice, just to feel human again. But she didn't answer the phone like usual. She answered and said, "Oh, hey, I just talked to you, like 10 minutes ago. You said you were driving up? I wasn't. Wait, why are you calling again? Your voice sounds wrong." I told her I hadn't called before. Then she went silent, dead silent, for 30 full seconds. Then a different voice came on the line, my own voice, saying, "I told you I'd be home soon, Mom. Everything's fine. We're all fine." The line cut, and now when I try calling again, I get my own voicemail, but it's not my voice anymore. It's the other me, the purpose of the system. Tartarus Gate isn't a portal. It's not magic. It's not a virus. It's a replacement system, a hive mind experiment that's been active for decades. Every 9 years, it runs a new cycle, pulls 9 targets from across the world, replaces them with perfect copies, not clones, not AI, synthetic humans, built to blend, built to overwrite. Node 3, the one I found under Starbucks, wasn't the only one. There are at least 8 others, hidden under a burned-down school in Krakow, an inactive subway platform in Tokyo, a Walmart distribution hub in Nevada, a luxury condo construction site in Dubai, and one beneath a deserted McDonald's in Alaska that's still lit up inside but hasn't served anyone since 2015. Each one runs the same process: ingest data, social media, photos, biometrics, replicate subject, phase them out, deploy replacement, and when a cycle completes, the original becomes a ghost, still alive, still trapped in their own skin, but never seen again, because the world already thinks they're still here. My final day tonight, I caught the reflection again, but this time, it blinked first. I spoke, and it spoke over me. I tried to film it, but the camera wouldn't focus on my face. No matter what I did, every mirror, every screen, every reflection now shows them, not me. My voice is distorted in real life now. My friends stop mid-conversation and stare like they've forgotten who I am. And earlier, I passed a group of kids on the street. One of them pointed and said, "He's not done yet." I tried to kill the reflection. I broke every mirror in my apartment, but one of them didn't break. I hit it, smashed it with a hammer, stabbed it with a kitchen knife, and the glass just bent. Then my reflection leaned closer. It opened its mouth, and I felt breath on my neck. From behind me, I turned around. No one there. I turned back. The reflection was gone, and my face had been replaced with blank skin. No eyes, no nose, just the faint outline of a smile. Now I'm just watching. I don't go outside anymore, but he does. My double is living my life. He posts, he smiles, he replies to messages, and no one notices, except one person. My old coworker sent me a DM. "Bro, something's off about you lately. I saw you last night, and you waved at me, but your hand was backwards." I asked him what he meant. He never replied. His account is deleted now, replaced with another that only posts at 4:19 a.m. The final cycle. Earlier today, my doorbell rang. There was a package outside. No return address. Inside, a black hoodie, a replica of my apartment key, a printed photo of me standing in front of a government building in Germany, smiling, and a note. Deployment approved. Subject 4. Cleared for node expansion. System sync 100%. You are no longer needed. I checked my reflection one last time, and I wasn't there. Just static. If you're reading this, it's too late for me, but not for you. You still have a chance. Do not search for the folder. Do not respond to the children. Do not click on anything labeled TARTARUS_GATE. And if someone says they saw you somewhere you've never been, run. Because once they've copied you, there's no getting yourself back. Not ever. The door opens again in 9 years. Cycle resets in 2033. By then, you won't even know if you're the real you anymore. I found an unlisted dark web livestream where people confess crimes before doing them. And last night, someone confessed to killing me. Yo, what's up, guys? Okay, this is gonna sound like some made-up clickbait Reddit horror crap, but I swear to you, this happened. This is real, and I'm posting this because I legit don't know what else to do. I don't care if y'all roast me or call me a troll. I just need to get this story out. Maybe someone out there knows what this is. So yeah, I guess I'll start from the beginning, the way Luna or one of those YouTube storytime guys would do. This was about a month ago, late September. I'm 19, live just outside of Pittsburgh, and like a lot of you reading this, I'm chronically online. I don't party much. Don't go out unless it's to the 24-hour McDonald's, or maybe to Starbucks if I'm feeling like treating myself. Most nights, I just scroll TikTok, hop on Discord, and go down YouTube rabbit holes. You know, typical Gen Z stuff. Anyway, that week, I got into this weird kick watching deep web horror videos. You know the ones. Titles like Top 10 Scariest Dark Websites That Shouldn't Exist, or I ordered a mystery box from the deep web and regret everything. Super cheesy, right? But still creepy enough that I couldn't stop watching. Like, half of them are probably fake, but you want to believe they're real. It's that kind of thrill. So me being the dumb, curious idiot I am, I start asking around on Reddit and Discord if anyone has a real Tor browser link to something legit, but not, like, illegal. I wasn't trying to find anything super sus like Red Rooms or CP or anything that could get me arrested or mentally scarred for life. Just something weird, you know? One dude on a Discord I'm in, shout out to Lockjaw27, who hasn't been online since, send me a private message with a string of jumbled letters and numbers. No description, just go here, but only watch. Don't interact. Ever. That should have been my first red flag, right? But again, I'm an idiot, and curiosity always wins. I copy-paste it into Tor, and after a minute of loading, I land on this black screen with one line of red text. The confession room. That was it. No menus, no links, nothing. Just a small embedded video player at the center of the screen. Kinda like an old school Twitch setup, but grungy and analog looking. Like the kind of UI you'd see on a 2007 underground hacker site. I hovered my mouse over the stream and it immediately started playing. No countdown, no intro, just straight into it. And yo, when I say this was creepy as hell, I mean it. There's this grainy webcam feed of a guy sitting in what looked like a basement. Concrete walls, one naked light bulb hanging above, and a bunch of plastic sheeting behind him, like something out of Dexter. Dude was wearing a ski mask, just sitting there, breathing heavy. No background music, no editing, just raw, uncut live video. It was dead silent, except for his breathing. Then he spoke, and I'll never forget his voice. It was this low, gravelly whisper, like he was scared someone was listening, but at the same time, it felt calculated. This is my confession. October 2nd. I followed her home from the Starbucks on 5th. She always gets a grande chai. She was wearing a black hoodie with pink headphones. Her name is Kayla. She smiled at me. He paused. She won't smile again. Then he just stared at the camera for like 2 solid minutes without saying a word. Then the stream cut to black. I legit sat there frozen. I even said out loud, "What the fuck did I just watch?" I refreshed the page. The stream was still live, but a new person had replaced the last guy. This one wasn't even wearing a mask, just had their face blurred out in real time, like some kind of live filter. They were pacing back and forth in a dark room. Looked like a garage maybe, with a bunch of tools on the wall. This guy, way more animated. He was ranting like, "They all think I'm crazy. My boss, my mom, my therapist. But they're wrong. I need to do this. I've planned it for weeks. I'm not gonna say where, but let's just say, if you're flying into JFK on October 3rd, stay the hell away from baggage claim." Then boom, stream ends again, just cuts out. Back to the silent black screen with that red text. The confession room. Now look, I've seen weird stuff online before, but this felt different, like way too real. These weren't goofy creepypasta stories or edgy ARG videos. These people were giving actual details, names, dates, locations. It wasn't theatrical, it was matter of fact. And the most messed up part, the stream never showed crimes happening. It was just these people, talking, confessing, like they needed to get it off their chest before doing something horrible. I ended up staying on that site for 3 hours that night. I saw 11 different people confess to stuff. Mostly murder, some theft. One guy talked about poisoning his boss's lunch at a Subway in Toronto. Another woman admitted she was going to leave her baby in a hot car the next day while she went to play slot machines. I wish I was making this up, but nothing freaked me out more than what I saw the next night. October 3rd, same setup, same site, same eerie black screen and red text. But this time, something was different. The stream was playing when I got there, like it had already started. The guy on camera, he looked familiar. He had the same flannel shirt I owned, same messy dark hair, same black choker necklace I wore every day. Then he looked up at the camera, and I swear to God, it was me. My exact face, my exact voice. He leaned in and whispered, "October 4th. I'll be waiting by the Greyhound station downtown. He thinks he's just meeting a friend, but I already bought the knife. I'm gonna make sure it hurts." Then he smiled, and the stream cut to black. My heart dropped. I slammed my laptop shut and just sat there shaking. I couldn't sleep at all that night. I didn't even have plans to go downtown, but now I was paranoid as hell. What if someone was using my face? What if it was deep fake sh*t? Or worse, what if someone was framing me? I checked my reflection in the mirror like 10 times that night, just to make sure I was still me. I know that sounds crazy, but the stream felt like some kind of glitch in the Matrix, and it's only gotten weirder since then. But trust me, it gets a lot worse. The confession from last night? Yeah, they said my full name, my address, and the last thing they said before the stream cut. He's watching right now. The stream showed me my face, my voice, my exact words, saying I was going to kill someone the next day at the Greyhound station downtown. Only, I never recorded anything. I've never owned a ski mask, never touched a knife outside of the kitchen, and sure as hell, never had any thoughts like that. I'm just a regular dude who plays Valorant too much and gets way too anxious talking to cashiers at Wawa. And yet, there I was, saying I'd kill someone. You know when your heart drops and it's like your body forgets how to function? That full-on fight or flight, goosebumps on your spine, can't feel your hands type fear. That's where I was at, but that wasn't the end of it, not even close. October 4th, 2:37 p.m. My phone buzzed. I was sitting in my room, blinds down, paranoid as hell. I hadn't left my apartment all day. I was literally watching Mr. Balin on YouTube, trying to not spiral. Then I get this notification from an unknown number, no contact name, just a message. Nice hoodie. Gray and red. Looks better on you than on him. I froze. Looked down. Gray and red champion hoodie. My heart stopped. I shot up and went to my window, peeled the blinds just enough to peek out, and I swear to God, I saw someone standing across the street, hoodie up, not moving, just watching. The second I made eye contact, they turned and walked into the alley next to the vape shop. I called 911, told them someone might be stalking me. The dispatcher asked if they'd made contact, if they had a weapon, or if I felt directly threatened. I said yes, but I didn't have proof. No name, no video, just one creepy message and a guy in a hoodie who didn't even step on my lawn. They told me to stay safe and keep an eye out. Cool. Real helpful. That night, I checked the stream again. I don't even know why. Curiosity? Fear? Addiction? It's hard to explain, but something about that site felt like it was pulling me back, like I had to know what was next. Maybe it was a mistake. No, it was a mistake. Because that night, that's when everything started spiraling fast. Same site, same black screen, same red text. But this time, instead of one person, it was a replay, a compilation. Confession compilation, week of September 26. It was like a YouTube highlight reel, but for death. Dozens of clips, edited together roughly like someone just cut and pasted them back to back. There were timestamps in the top corner of each one, all matching the days I watched live. But here's the messed up part. They weren't just confessions. There were photos now. Real ones. Crime scene photos. Grainy, low res, but real. You could see what looked like a Starbucks cup tipped over on the sidewalk, splattered with something dark. Another showed a Subway sandwich, half eaten on a desk next to a bottle of bleach. One showed a baby seat in the back of a black sedan. Empty. These weren't acting. These weren't props. These were aftermath photos. And then it cut to my clip. Only this time, it kept going. October 4th. He thinks he's just meeting a friend, but I already bought the knife. I'm gonna make sure it hurts. I'd already seen that part. But then the camera zoomed out. You could see more of the room. My bedroom, the tapestry on the wall, the broken IKEA desk I still hadn't fixed, even my cracked iPhone charger dangling from the outlet. Then something new. He doesn't remember filming this. That's the best part. But don't worry. He'll remember after. Then, smile. Camera shuts off. I backed away from my laptop. I didn't want to believe it, but I couldn't deny what I saw. That was my room. That was me on camera. Same posters, same layout. Either someone broke into my place, or I had lost time, like actual missing time. I didn't sleep. I kept every light in the apartment on, every window locked, even put a chair under my bedroom doorknob like I was in some Netflix thriller. Nothing happened that night, but the next day, I found something under my bed. October 5th. I wake up on the floor. No memory of falling asleep, just pain in my neck and a taste in my mouth like old metal. Blood? I don't know. My laptop's closed. My phone's off. I don't remember turning either off, but that's not what scared me. It was the knife. Under my bed, wrapped in a Dollar Tree bag, was a 7-inch kitchen knife. Dried brown stain on the edge. Handle cracked. I didn't own that knife. I had a cheap silver set from Target. This one? Old. Wooden handle. Looked like it belonged in a hunting cabin or something. And the worst part, there was a receipt tucked into the bag. Printed, not handwritten. From a pawn shop 2 neighborhoods over. My name on it. My debit card digits partially redacted. October 3rd. I was at home all day that day, wasn't I? I started thinking maybe I was losing it. Sleepwalking, dissociation. I Googled everything. Can you commit a crime and not remember? Split personalities. Dark web hypnosis. I even asked some Reddit mental health forums and got nothing but trolls and people telling me to check into a psych ward. Then the next message came. You don't remember what you did, but we do. Attached was a photo. Me, standing at the Greyhound station, 2:14 p.m., hand in hoodie pocket, staring straight ahead. Behind me, a man slumped against the wall, blood on his collar. I ran to my trash, sifted through everything. Old Starbucks cups, instant ramen wrappers, receipts. Then I found it. Greyhound ticket stub. Pittsburgh to Erie. October 4th, 12:50 p.m. I don't remember buying it. I don't remember going there. I don't remember anything about that entire afternoon, but I was there. The photo proved it. And the guy in the photo behind me, he was on the next night's stream. October 5th, live stream. I trusted him. He said he wanted to talk. I didn't even see the knife until it was too late. I just wanted a friend. The screen flickered. Then it showed my face. Then, black. No sound, no music, no timestamp. Just one line of red text appeared slowly across the screen. He's finally starting to remember. I'm writing this now on a burner Chromebook from a public library 2 towns over. I haven't gone home. I keep seeing people watching me from parked cars. A black SUV's been on my tail since I left the apartment. Every time I try to log into my socials, I get locked out. All my Instagram photos are gone. My Google Drive, wiped. My cloud backups, corrupted. Even this Reddit account. I had to make a new one. My old one vanished overnight. 0 trace. I think whoever's behind the confession stream, they're not just watching, they're editing reality. Or I'm going insane. Maybe both. But here's the thing. Last night's stream, they showed a new face. My mom. And the voice behind the camera whispered, "She's next." I'm writing this from a hotel outside Harrisburg. It's one of those chain places off the interstate where every hallway smells faintly like lemon cleaner and cigarettes. I haven't slept. I keep the curtains taped shut with duct tape from the gas station, and I shove the dresser in front of the door just in case. The longer I'm awake, the more I realize how ordinary everything still looks. Cars passing outside, some kid laughing 2 rooms down. But behind it all, there's this vibration in my head, like static before a signal. Ever since the stream started showing people I know, that static has been louder. The morning after I saw my mom's face on that feed, I called her. Straight to voicemail. I texted. No reply. She's usually up by 6, texting me corny inspirational quotes with sun emojis. At 8 a.m., I tried Facebook Messenger. The app said, active 4 minutes ago. I messaged, "Mom, are you okay? Don't go anywhere weird. Please." I watched the typing bubble appear, then vanish. 10 seconds later, my phone buzzed with a new message, not from her number. "Stop contacting the subjects." That's all it said. No sender ID. Around noon, I made myself go outside to breathe. I ended up at a Starbucks near the bus station, half expecting to see the same guy from the Greyhound photo. Everything looked normal. Couples on laptops, college kids with AirPods, baristas doing that dead inside corporate smile. Then I noticed the digital menu screen behind the counter flicker. Just once. A single frame of static. And in that split second, I swear I saw my reflection staring back from the black background, not mirroring me. I blinked. It was gone. The barista didn't even notice. I asked her if the screen glitches often. She said, "Not since the new software update," then laughed like it was nothing. But I checked my phone later, and the Starbucks app had installed an update by itself. A new privacy permissions screen I didn't recognize. Back in the hotel that night, I opened my laptop again. I told myself I wouldn't, but curiosity wins every time. The confession room page looked different. Instead of the red text, there was a gray input bar under the video frame, like a chat box. Above it, watchers may submit script. I didn't type anything. I just sat there staring at that blank space, my hands shaking. The video was already live, not a face this time, just an empty room, like a police interrogation room, but dirtier. One chair, one fluorescent light buzzing overhead, a microphone dangling from the ceiling. Then words began to appear in that chat bar. Not from me, from someone else. "He is sitting in room 213, Harrisburg Interstate 8 Motel. That's my location." Then the feed changed. The camera zoomed slowly out until I realized it was my hotel room. Same wallpaper, same chair by the dresser, the one I was sitting in. I slammed the laptop shut. The light in my room flickered at the same time. I grabbed my bag and ran down to the lobby. The night clerk gave me this look, like he already knew why I was there. I asked if anyone had come in asking for me. He said no. Then he added, "We don't have a room 213. My stomach dropped. I'd been in that room all day. I even had the key card. I pulled it out to show him. The plastic tag just said 21, no 3. He called the manager. They both swore that room didn't exist. I dragged them upstairs to prove it, and the hallway ended 2 doors before where mine should have been. Just blank wall. I left everything behind. Laptop, bag, charger. Drove until the GPS lost signal. Parked behind a diner and tried to breathe. That's when I noticed something glowing faintly in the passenger side mirror. Letters forming like condensation. Recording. I wiped it off. It came back. I took a photo with my phone. In the picture, there's a reflection of me in the mirror. Only my mouth is open like I'm screaming. I wasn't. It's getting harder to tell what's real. Every screen I touch shows some trace of that side now. A flicker, a symbol, a frame of static. My phone randomly starts voice recording on its own. The file names always have the same prefix, CRLOG _ and a date. I opened one. It was me, talking in my sleep. A whisper. Confession accepted. Upload complete. There's this theory I read on a deep web forum years ago. Something about a mirror script experiment. Supposedly, a group of anonymous coders made a neural network that didn't just learn from human confession videos. It recreated them by stitching together biometric data, security feeds, and predictive behavior models, like an AI that writes your crimes before you commit them. They called it the confession room. People said it got shut down in 2019 after one of the devs vanished. Maybe it never shut down. maybe it just started streaming again. I tried smashing my phone tonight. It still rang after I broke the screen. The ringtone was replaced with that same whisper looped backward. At 3:02 a.m., the hotel phone rang. "Are you ready for your next confession?" Then silence. When I hung up, the words, "Part 3, upload successful," appeared on my laptop screen, the one I left behind. I shouldn't be able to see that, but it popped up as a push notification on my new phone. If anyone reading this knows how to disconnect a device from a mirrored network, tell me. I'm running out of options. I think every reflection, every camera, every lens is now part of it. Tomorrow, I'm going to try one last thing. A public confession of my own, somewhere crowded, offline, no screens. Maybe if I say it out loud before they broadcast it, I can break whatever this loop is. If you don't see a part 4, assume the stream got to me first, because I just looked at the bathroom mirror and words are appearing across the glass, tracing themselves like fog. Confession scheduled, October 9th. That's today. I don't know how many people are still reading this, but if you are, thank you. Just the idea that someone out there is following keeps me from feeling completely gone. I told myself I'd make a public confession, no screens, no tech. So that's what I did. October 9th, 7 a.m. I drove until the gas light blinked, ended up at an empty rest stop halfway between two towns whose names I'd never heard before. Gray fog, the kind that erases the edges of things. I parked by a row of vending machines and tried to rehearse what I'd say. Something simple. My name is, and I think I've been recorded. If you see my face online, it isn't me. The place looked abandoned, except for one older guy sweeping by the bathrooms. I walked toward him, voice shaking, ready to just tell someone, anyone. Then my phone buzzed again, even though I'd left it in the glove box. The notification flashed across the screen by itself. Live, the confession room, location tagged. I ran back to the car. The side was open on my screen. Not from me. I hadn't touched it. The camera view showed the exact rest stop. Same fog, same vending machines. Only difference, there was someone standing where I was, holding a phone. Their face was blurred, but they were wearing my clothes. A caption at the bottom of the stream read, "The subject believes he's free." The older guy with the broom dropped it, looked straight at me like he'd just woken from a dream, and said quietly, "You're late." They already filmed it. Then he walked away. I tried to drive, but the GPS refused to load any map, just a red dot moving on an empty grid. Every road I took looped me back to the same highway sign, Exit 9, Confession Drive. By the third loop, my hands were shaking so bad, I pulled over at a McDonald's just to be around people. I sat there for an hour, nursing a cold coffee, watching families and commuters come and go. The noise helped. Reality felt solid again, until the TVs mounted near the ceiling flickered to static. For a second, every screen in that McDonald's showed me sitting right there, exact angle, exact moment, like a live CCTV feed of right now. The cashier gasped. A manager unplugged the cable box, but the static didn't stop until I ran out the door. I've been thinking about the pattern. Every time I try to confess, the stream mirrors me first. It anticipates the moment and plays it back before it happens. It's not predicting the future, it's writing it. There was a thread on a cybersecurity board years ago about a project called the Mirror Script Protocol. Rumor was it crawled data from cameras, microphones, GPS trackers, anything networked, and generated synthetic confession scripts using predictive behavior models. People laughed it off as creepypasta. But what if someone rebuilt it? Maybe the real confession isn't what people say. Maybe it's what the network decides you're going to do, and then it adjusts the world around you until you match the script. At 4 p.m., I pulled into a random strip mall and went into a thrift store to find a change of clothes. The woman behind the counter smiled, froze, then said, "Oh, you're back." I'd never been there before. She pointed to the security TV behind her. A pause frame showed me. Same hoodie, same backpack, dated yesterday. Timestamp 3 minutes before I arrived. When I asked to buy something, the register printed a receipt automatically. The footer said, "Transaction logged, confession accepted." I ditched everything again. Wallet, cards, even the keys. Took a bus east, paying cash. But every reflection on that ride, the window, the driver's rearview mirror, even the stainless panel by the emergency exit, kept catching a faint image of a room behind me. Concrete walls, one light bulb, the plastic sheeting I saw in the very first stream. Like I'm always sitting in that room, no matter where I actually go. When the bus stopped, I wandered into a convenience store to use the payphone. The clock was scrolling TikTok on his phone, watching some dark web found footage clip. I froze. It was me again. Same flannel. Same words as the very first video. The caption read, "Original confession, now restored in 4K. And the comments underneath weren't random bots. They were usernames I recognized from my old Discord servers, friends from high school, even my mom's account. Each comment just said, "We forgive you." I think the network's final step is erasing the difference between a viewer and a confessor. Once you've watched enough, it starts scripting you too. That's why I'm posting this from a library again, on a public PC, logged in under a guest account. If this story shows up somewhere else, word for word, you'll know it isn't me. Because just now, at the edge of the monitor, I can see a reflection forming. Another window with a live feed. My hands are typing the same words in perfect sync, but there's no one in that chair on the other side. The text box at the bottom of the feed just filled itself. Final confession scheduled, October 10th at midnight, Eastern Standard Time. That's midnight. If this post disappears after that, don't look for a re-upload. Don't try to find the site. Every mirror's already watching. You ever get that feeling where your life doesn't feel like it's yours anymore? Like you're going through the motions, brushing your teeth, checking your phone, tying your shoes, but it all feels secondhand, like a memory someone else is wearing. That's what it's been like for me the last 2 days, ever since I saw my own bedroom on that stream, since I saw my mom's face show up next. I haven't felt real. I've been off the grid since that night. Motel hopping, no phone, no laptop, no internet, just cash and a prepaid flip phone I bought from a sketchy corner shop that didn't even ask for ID. I didn't know you could still find places like that, but I did, and I've been talking to no one, not my mom, not my friends, not even the cops, even though I probably should. October 9th, 11:42 p.m. I was staying in this little highway motel just outside of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. You know the kind. Everything smells like stale coffee and mildew, and the walls are thin enough to hear a guy 2 rooms over cussing at his microwave. I picked this place because it was far enough out that I figured they wouldn't track me here. And when I say they, I mean, I still don't even know who I'm talking about. The people behind the confession room, the stream that knows where you are before you do, the one that shows what you're going to do before you even think it. I sat on the edge of the bed, holding the flip phone, counting down the minutes. Because if you remember from part 3, the stream said, Final confession scheduled, October 10th at midnight Eastern Standard Time. And the time was 11:59 p.m. I couldn't stop staring at the blank TV across the room. It was unplugged, no power, nothing connected. But then the screen flickered, just once, like it was waking up. I stood up and backed away. Then I heard it. 3 knocks on the motel door, slow, even, like they were giving me time to breathe between each one. I didn't move. I didn't answer, but the knocking didn't come again. Instead, I heard a soft voice from the other side of the door. You can't run from your part in this. I waited 5 minutes before even approaching the peephole. No one was there, but tucked under the door was a USB stick in a small clear plastic bag. No label, no markings, just a plain drive, like you'd pick up at a gas station. I swear to God, I hadn't used a computer in 2 days. No phone calls, no internet. I'd bought new clothes, shaved my beard, even wore a different pair of sneakers than I usually do. And still, they knew where I was. October 10th, 12:07 a.m. I left, didn't even take my bag. I just got in the car and drove. No GPS, no destination. I figured if I kept moving, I could outpace it. The stream, the script, whatever it is. But something weird happened about an hour into the drive. I pulled into a 24-hour McDonald's off the highway to use the bathroom. There were only 2 people inside. A kid in a red hoodie, scrolling his phone, and a woman cleaning trays behind the counter. I kept my head down and went to the restroom. On the mirror, written in something greasy, probably ketchup, were 3 words, "You're already uploaded." I took a photo with the flip phone. I still have it. When I came out of the bathroom, the red hoodie kid was gone. The woman behind the counter was now standing perfectly still, staring at the front doors like she was in a trance, like she was waiting. I bolted. October 10th, 2:18 a.m. I pulled into a rest area and tried sleeping in the car. I hadn't slept in 40 hours. The inside of the windshield was fogging up from my breath. I wiped a patch clear with my sleeve. That's when I saw the face, in the passenger seat. For a split second, I saw me. Not my reflection, but a slightly older version of me, wearing the same hoodie I ditched 2 days ago. He smiled, not friendly, just slow, patient, like he was watching a show that was finally getting good, then gone, just like that. This is when I started to believe it, fully. I don't think I'm being watched, I think I'm being rehearsed. The confession room isn't just a live stream, it's a script generator. It doesn't record crimes, it writes them into reality. It builds a version of you based on your online footprint, your browser history, your voice, your photos, and then it replaces you with that version. That's why the videos showed me saying things I never said. That's why it had footage from places I hadn't gone yet. And now? Now it was getting ahead of me, like I wasn't in control anymore. October 10th, 4:41 a.m. I did something I haven't told anyone yet. I went back home. I don't even remember deciding to do it. 1 minute I was driving, the next I recognized the highway exit, my apartment building, the cracked sidewalk out front, like I was on autopilot. My door was already unlocked. I stepped inside and almost puked, because every mirror in the apartment, the bathroom, the bedroom, even the toaster oven, had a sticky note on it. Each one said, "Confession pending." The TV was on. The screen was frozen. It showed me, sitting exactly where I was, wearing exactly what I was wearing. But I wasn't blinking. I wasn't moving. Just staring forward, mouth slightly open. The time code on the screen, 10 minutes in the future. I'm writing this now from a cheap internet cafe 30 minutes from home. I don't know how I got here. I think I blacked out. My legs feel like lead. I checked Reddit. My original account is back up, but I never logged in. Someone posted part 4 already. Only, it wasn't this one. It was something else. A post where I described killing someone. A woman. Blonde. Around 50. The description matches my mom. And the top comment. "We warned you not to interfere with the script. So here's the deal. If this story suddenly turns, if you see a new post from me that doesn't sound like me, that's not me. That's the copy. The version the stream built. And it's winning. Final part. Coming soon. If I'm still the one who writes it. If not, you'll know by the way it ends. And if you're seeing this post, ask yourself something. Are you sure you're not already in the script too? I don't know how long I've been awake. Days blur when you're running on vending machine coffee and adrenaline. The lines between what's real, what's recorded, and what's already been written are paper thin now. I'm still trying to keep track of them long enough to leave something you can read that isn't theirs. October 11th, 6:17 a.m. I broke into a co-working space downtown. They rent desks by the hour. No ID if you pay cash. There's a faint hum here from 100 routers and printers. Feels like hiding inside a beehive. I'm writing this on one of their public computers. I can't tell if the keyboard is warm from the last user or from me shaking. The security cameras in this place are pointed at every corner. I keep seeing the little red lights flicker like they're recording, but the screens at the front desk show nothing, just static. One of them has my reflection frozen mid-blink, like a paused frame waiting to unfreeze. I think the confession room has figured out that I'm not confessing fast enough. The moment I logged in, a notification popped up in the browser. Stream will commence in 5 minutes. I unplugged the Ethernet cable. It didn't matter. The screen stayed on, timer still counting down. 4:59, 4:58, 4:57. When it hit 0, the video window filled with that same basement I'd seen before. The plastic sheets, the hanging bulb. But this time, the camera panned to a doorway at the back. Someone walked through carrying a small handheld mirror. They set it down, facing the lens. In the reflection, I saw my desk here at the co-working space. I tried to stand, but every monitor around me lit up at once. Each one showed a slightly different angle of me sitting here typing, except in some of them, I was smiling, and in others I wasn't. The timestamps were a few seconds ahead of the clock on the wall. Then a voice through the laptop speakers. Final confession uploaded. Awaiting confirmation, I slammed the lid shut. The sound kept playing from the other monitors, the voice repeating the same line over and over until it blurred into static. I left the building and walked until my legs gave out. Ended up on a park bench near the river. Morning commuters everywhere. Joggers, people with earbuds, kids on scooters. Ordinary life. For the first time in weeks, I felt invisible. Until my flip phone rang. Number unknown. I answered. The voice was my own. We're live. Every phone around me buzzed at once. People stopped, pulling them from pockets. Same notification on every screen. Live confession, channel number 0001. The sound of static filled the air. 100 tiny speakers all at once. People looked around confused. Some laughed. Then their faces went blank. One by one, they lifted their phones and pointed them at me. The camera light stayed on. In each lens, I could see myself. But in the reflection of every phone, I wasn't sitting on the bench anymore. I was back in that basement chair. I ran. Down the street, through traffic, into the nearest alley. The live stream followed. I could hear it echoing from open windows and car radios. The feed wasn't just online anymore. It was everywhere, hijacking anything with a screen. Posters on a digital billboard glitched into my face. News tickers started spelling my name. A bus stop ad showed me sitting in that chair, whispering words I couldn't hear. Then, the line beneath it, "He has confessed." October 11th, 10:52 a.m. I ducked into a church. Old building, no security cameras. I figured maybe a place without Wi-Fi would be safe. It was empty except for the janitor mopping near the altar. I sat in the back pew and started writing this post on a borrowed notebook from the donation table. Pen, paper, no screens. For the first time, the static in my head went quiet. I started to believe maybe the feed couldn't reach me here. Then the janitor spoke without turning around. "You know, most people finish their confession before they leave." He set the mop down, walked out a side door, and the lights flickered. The small TV in the hallway, the one that displays the mass schedule, switched on by itself. On screen, me, still in that pew, still writing, but behind me, a figure standing in the doorway. I turned. No one there, but the TV showed the figure walking closer. Each step on the screen matched a cold draft moving through the church. I dropped the notebook and ran. October 11th, 11:59 p.m. I'm in another motel now. Same cheap wallpaper, different town. I borrowed a laptop from the front desk, said I needed to check email. I'm finishing this here because if the pattern holds, midnight is when it always resets. The clock on the wall clicks over to 12 o'clock. The browser opens on its own. There's a final message in red. The confession room thanks you for your service. Stream archived. Below that, a live chat scrolling so fast I can barely read it. Dozens of usernames repeating one phrase. We forgive you. We forgive you. We forgive you. I closed the laptop, looked out the window. Across the parking lot, in the reflection of the motel office glass, I can see a man sitting in a chair typing. It looks exactly like me. He turns, raises a hand in a small wave, and mouths something I can't hear. Then the lights in my room go out. If this post shows up with my username, if it uploads automatically after I'm gone, treat it like a recording left on repeat. Because I think that's what the confession room really wanted. Not the crimes, not the stories, just the act of confessing itself, multiplied forever, until every screen has someone whispering their own guilt into the dark. And now that you've read mine, the feed knows your name too. Check your reflection. Do you see a camera light